I was having lunch and watching YouTube, not a good idea, and I almost choked halfway, not on the food, but on this attorney's rant on DIY estate planning. I don't mind a fair critique, but the way this guy did it, it was misleading, unfair, and frankly downright insulting. The first mistake he made was to lump all DIY solutions out there into one bucket. If he had bothered to create accounts in a few of these estate planning online platforms out there and played around with it, got to know them, he would realize that there are at least 3 different tiers of DIY estate planning platforms out there. The first tier would be the generic business legal templates out there, such as lawdepot.com, RocketLawyer.com. They've been doing apartment leases, business contracts for years, and recently they added estate planning legal templates. The second tier are online platforms that were built from the ground up as dedicated estate planning platforms. They are even catered to handle requirements from all 50 states in the US. They're definitely much more powerful and versatile. That would be trustandwill.com, Nolo Will Creator. And then you have the top tier. These are invitation-only platforms. You have to be invited by your financial advisor or by a certified estate planner to draft estate planning documents on these platforms. And they are much more powerful and customizable because they need to be able to handle higher net worth clients who usually work with advisors. So you can't just lump them all into one bucket. Specific complaints. He says these documents are generic. Everyone gets the same will. Everyone gets the same trust. It's like trying to fit into one big suit jacket. Exact words. Maybe that was 20 years ago. And I checked to make sure that his video is not 20 years old. It's actually just a few months old. I have worked with many clients, individual, single dads, blended families, 70-year-old retirees. Their estate plans from these online platforms all look very different. Next, he claimed that even though DIY estate plans are bad, the companies don't get any complaints because, quote,
the reason there's not complaints? Because everybody is dead. That's why.
Do you know who gets a lot of complaints? Attorneys. A few attorneys push wills instead of trusts, so they get another round of business when the families end up in probate. I said few attorneys. I do not lump all attorneys into one bucket. Or they don't follow up with the families to fund the revocable living trust, and the families end up in probate. Why do you think malpractice insurance costs so much for attorneys? He also criticizes do-it-yourself solutions out there because they don't provide any support. No access to humans were his exact words. I don't know what online platforms he reviewed. My guess is none, because there are many online platforms out there, trustandwill.com, vanilla.com, wealth.com. They not only have live chat, they have email support, phone support, all with humans. Another common criticism on DIY solutions is that these DIY estate plan documents are not signed properly. So one attorney said, they're useless if they're not signed properly. Clearly, the solution is to hire an estate plan attorney. I don't think so. If documents aren't signed, the solution is to sign them. A lot of issues with estate plans are not so much legal in nature, but human operator error. That's why reputable companies, along with their trust and will, they will have a one-page, very clear instructions on where you need to sign, how many witnesses you need, what pages you need to notarize. Okay, this next one made me laugh out loud. Attorney Paul Rabelais, in his recent YouTube video, tried to show how DIY solutions are lacking by getting on ChatGPT and asking ChatGPT to create a will for him. I love Paul, okay? I subscribe to his channel. I've learned a lot from him. But excuse me, Paul, like who goes to ChatGPT and put in a raw prompt to create a will? maybe the same people who handwrites their will in their journal next to their kitchen recipes. But come on, that's unfair way to critique the many sophisticated DIY estate planning platforms out there. If you have been following me in my channel, you know I don't usually rant like this. But these videos have really triggered me. I almost choked, remember? And this is why I'm so mad. Estate plan attorneys slam DIY solutions, but they have not solved the problem. For decades, estate planning is treated like a privilege. The best advice is locked behind high fees and limited access. So many Americans, millions of them, are left unprotected against probate. Those that have an estate plan, a lot of them are outdated, 10 years old, 15 years old, maybe even older. Why? Because each update means another round of sticker shock at the attorney's office. So I want to appeal to the legal profession. If you have not been able to move the needle very much in this estate planning issue we have in this country, perhaps you can support, not just critique unfairly, but even support the DIY online platforms out there. Because we all need it, not just Americans with high net worth, but all mainstream families, because estate planning is not about how much assets we have. It's about access to proper planning, peace of mind for our families, avoiding family disputes because we have clear and thought out estate plans. What is your experience? Do you have an estate plan? Have you called an attorney before to try to get one done? Or have you tried the DIY estate planning platforms out there? Drop in your experience below. I really want to hear it.